Every 11 seconds, a burglar breaks into an American home. And they don't pick houses at random. They pick the ones that look easy. The good news? Grandpa figured out a long time ago that you don't need a $1,000 alarm system to make your home the one they skip. You need about $5 and a handful of old tricks that still work better than the gadgets. Number 7 on this list costs about $1 at the hardware store, and it guards every window in your house better than most factory locks. Number 17 is completely free, and burglars admit they hate it more than any alarm. And number 5 is already sitting in your driveway right now. You just never knew it was a security system. If you live alone, these 35 hacks were made for you. Let's start with number 35. Reinforce your door for $1. Here's something most people never learn. When a door gets kicked in, the door doesn't fail. The door frame does. The strike plate, that little metal piece your lock slides into, is usually held in with half-inch screws that barely reach the frame. Replace them with 3-inch screws that anchor deep into the wall stud behind it, and that same door can suddenly take a beating. 4 screws, about $1 at any hardware store, 10 minutes with a screwdriver. Police officers recommend this exact fix more than any gadget on the market because it turns the weakest point of your home into one of the strongest for less than the price of a coffee. The dowel rod trick. Sliding doors and windows are a burglar's favorite entrance because most of their locks are flimsy little latches. Grandpa's fix costs about $2, a wooden dowel rod cut to fit snugly in the track. With that rod laying in the channel, the door physically cannot slide open, no matter what happens to the lock. A cut-down broomstick works just as well, and an old curtain rod works in a pinch. Lay it in every sliding track in the house tonight. It takes 10 seconds to place, 10 seconds to remove, and it turns your most vulnerable entry into your most secure one. Answer the door without opening it. Here's a rule that would have prevented most home invasion crimes in history. The door stays closed until you know who it is. A wide-angle peephole costs about $3 and installs with a drill in 5 minutes. No peephole? Talk through the door. Anyone with honest business will understand, and anyone who gets irritated by a closed door just told you everything you need to know. Grandpa never once apologized for talking through a locked door. Delivery drivers can leave the package. Utility workers can show ID through the window. Your door, your rules. The doorstop alarm. For about $5, you can buy a rubber doorstop with a built-in alarm. Wedge it behind your door at night, and if anyone forces the door open, it jams the door and lets out a scream you can hear down the block. But even the plain 50-cent rubber wedge from the dollar store does the first half of that job beautifully. The harder the door gets pushed, the tighter it jams. One behind the front door, one behind the back door, every single night. It's the cheapest overnight security guard ever invented, and it never falls asleep on the job. Jingle bells on the door handle. This one goes back generations. A few jingle bells on a string hung from the inside door handle. Any door that opens, even slowly, even carefully, announces itself through a quiet house. Craft stores sell a bag of bells for about $1, and they work on front doors, back doors, and the garage door into the house. Grandmothers use this trick to keep track of wandering toddlers. It works just as well in reverse. No batteries, no installation, no monthly fee, just a sound you'll recognize instantly from anywhere in the house at any hour. Motion sensor light bulbs. Burglars gave researchers a straight answer when asked what makes them skip a house: lights that come on. You no longer need an electrician for this. Motion sensor bulbs now screw into any ordinary porch fixture for about $8. When something moves within range, the light snaps on. To someone creeping up your walk in the dark, that feels exactly like being caught. Put one over each entrance, and here's the bonus for you. No more fumbling for keys in the dark, and no more stepping onto an unlit porch. The light that scares them is the same light that keeps you from falling. Keep the TV or radio talking. An occupied house is a protected house, and occupied is a sound, not a fact. When you answer the door, a TV or radio playing in the background says somebody else is home. When you leave, a radio on a $5 outlet timer says somebody never left. Burglars overwhelmingly want an empty house. They knock first, they listen, and sound sends them elsewhere. This costs pennies a month in electricity and works around the clock. Grandpa liked a talk station best. Voices in the next room are more convincing than music. And frankly, the house feels less quiet too. Never advertise that you live alone. From this day on, you live with people, as far as strangers are concerned. Answer the door with, "We weren't expecting anyone." Put only your last name or initials on the mailbox, never Mrs. or a first name. If a caller asks who's home, the answer is, "We're busy right now." A second chair on the porch, a big pair of old work boots by the door. These tiny signals cost nothing and quietly rewrite the story your home tells. Criminals look for people who are isolated. Make your house say otherwise everywhere it speaks. The dog you don't have. A "Beware of Dog" sign costs $2. A big metal dog bowl by the back door costs $3 at a thrift store. And burglars themselves rank a dog, especially a large, loud one, among the top reasons to skip a house entirely. Nobody breaking into homes wants to find out the hard way whether the bowl is decoration. Put the sign on the gate and the bowl where it can be seen from the fence line. Grandpa called this the best pet he never had to feed. $5, 0 vet bills, on duty around the clock. Curtains closed at dusk. Here's an uncomfortable fact. At night, with your lights on and curtains open, your home becomes a lit display case. Anyone outside can see exactly who's home, what you own, and where everything sits, while you can't see them at all. The fix is free and takes 30 seconds. When the street lights come on, the curtains close. Make it as automatic as locking the door. During the day, keep valuables, purses, laptops, pill bottles, away from window sight lines. What can't be seen can't be shopped for. Burglars case houses through windows more than any other way. Give them nothing to read. Trim away the hiding spots. Every overgrown bush against your house is a changing room for someone who shouldn't be there. Burglars need cover to work on a window or door unseen. And tall hedges, thick shrubs, and that untrimmed evergreen by the porch provide it free of charge. The fix costs nothing but an afternoon. Keep bushes below window height and trim tree limbs away from upper windows. Then borrow Grandpa's favorite upgrade. Plant something with thorns under the windows. A climbing rose or a holly bush is beautiful from the sidewalk and absolutely miserable to crouch in. Pretty for you. Painful for them. Pennies for the yard. Lock up your own tools. Ask any veteran police officer. Burglars often don't bring tools. They use yours. The ladder against the shed becomes their way to an upstairs window. The hammer on the porch becomes their pry bar. The unlocked garden shed is a free hardware store, 20 feet from your back door. The fix costs the price of one padlock, ladder locked away or chained down, tools inside, shed locked every evening. Walk your yard once this week and look at it the way a stranger would. Then put away everything you'd rather not hand them. The spare key goes to a neighbor, under the mat, in the flower pot, above the door frame, on top of the porch light. Burglars know every hiding spot you've ever heard of. Those are the first 4 places checked in that order, and it takes less than a minute. The free fix that beats them all. Your spare key lives at a trusted neighbor's house, and theirs lives at yours. Now your backup key is protected by an entire second household. You've got a built-in ally who knows your comings and goings, and nobody is fishing your key out of a fake rock at midnight. Never put your address on your keys. A key ring with an address tag isn't a key ring. It's an invitation with directions. Lose it at the grocery store, and whoever finds it holds your front door in one hand and your street number in the other. The free rule: keys carry no address, ever. If you want lost keys to find their way home, write a phone number instead. An honest finder will call, and a dishonest one learns nothing. The same goes for anything that travels with your keys. No luggage tags with full addresses facing the world, and no mail sitting visible in the car. Keys open doors. Make sure yours can't also find one. By the way, if you want all 35 of these in one place instead of hunting through a video, that's exactly what Grandpa's 35 Self-Defense Hacks guidebook is. Every hack, cost, and steps organized so you're not pausing and rewinding. It's even got a page of every hotline you'd actually need. Who to call for a scam, for elder fraud, all of it. Plus a nightly checklist so you're not guessing which of these you've actually done. Links in the description. Now back to the video. Stop the porch pileup. To a burglar driving past, packages stacked on a porch and mail bulging from the box spell out one word: empty. Deliveries are the new way houses get flagged, and it happens fast. Even a single day's pile tells a story. The free fix is an arrangement with the neighbor who already holds your spare key. Whoever's home first brings in the other's packages and mail. Going away overnight, the post office will hold your mail at no charge. You just ask. A clean porch says someone's paying attention, and attention is the one thing every burglar is trying to avoid. The alarm sign without the alarm. Researchers who interviewed convicted burglars found something wonderful. Most of them decided whether to skip a house in seconds based on what they could see from the street. And alarm signs made the list every time. Here's the thing. The sign works whether or not the system behind it exists. A security company yard sign and a couple of window stickers cost a few dollars online. Is it a bluff? Sure. But the burglar can't call it without betting his freedom on it, and no house on the block is worth that gamble when the one next door has no sign at all. The borrowed driveway. An empty driveway, day after day, is one of the clearest "nobody's home" signals a house can send. So Grandpa's generation traded driveways the way they traded spare keys. When you're away, a hospital stay, a visit to the grandkids, even a long weekend, your neighbor parks their car in your driveway. It costs nothing and changes everything about how the house reads from the street. A car that comes and goes means a house that's lived in. Pair it with your timer lamp and your held mail, and your home tells a complete story. Someone's here, someone's paying attention, keep driving. Photograph everything you'd hate to lose. Walk through your house with your phone or camera this weekend and photograph the TV, the jewelry, the tools, the silverware, anything you'd want back. Open drawers, capture serial numbers. It costs nothing and takes 20 minutes. Here's why it matters. Recovered stolen goods mostly go unclaimed because owners can't prove what was theirs, and insurance claims stall for the same reason. For extra credit, do what Grandpa's generation did. Engrave your initials somewhere discreet on valuables. Stolen goods that can be traced are goods thieves can't easily sell, and some will leave marked items behind entirely. Watch what the whole world can read. Here it is. Number 17. The free one burglars love most. Information you give away yourself. The vacation photos posted while you're still at the beach. The funeral announcement with the service time. Telling everyone exactly when the house sits empty. The social media post about your new TV. Burglars read all of it. Police have documented break-ins planned entirely from obituaries and vacation posts. The rule is simple and costs nothing. Share the trip photos after you're home. Keep addresses out of public announcements. And when there's a funeral in the family, ask a neighbor to sit the house during the service. What they can't learn, they can't use. Hang up on the grandparent scam. The crime most likely to actually reach a senior isn't a break-in, it's a phone call. And the cruelest one starts with, "Grandma, it's me. I'm in trouble." The caller begs for secrecy and money fast. Here's Grandpa's rule, and it's iron. Hang up and call your grandchild's real number yourself. A real emergency survives a callback. A scam evaporates. Agree on a family code word this week, a question only the real family can answer. No government agency, no bank, and no real grandchild will ever demand gift cards, wire transfers, or secrecy. Anyone who does just identified themselves. Never say yes to a stranger on the phone. Phone scammers record calls, and some scripts are built around getting you to say a single word, yes, or to confirm your name, your address, or that you live alone. So Grandpa's phone rules. Don't answer numbers you don't recognize. Real callers leave messages. Never confirm personal details to an incoming call. If the bank calls, hang up and dial the number on the back of your card. And never, ever tell a caller you're home by yourself. The phone is a door too. You wouldn't open the front door to a stranger. Don't open this one either. The door knocker rule. The stranger at your door with a story. Leftover asphalt from a job down the street, a roof problem he noticed driving by, a tree that urgently needs trimming, is running one of the oldest scams aimed at seniors, and it starts with pressure and ends with cash up front for work that never happens. Grandpa's rule costs nothing. No decisions at the doorstep, ever. Real contractors leave a card and don't mind waiting. Scammers need an answer today before you can check. Never pay up front in cash, and never let an unexpected inspector inside. The word no, spoken through a locked door, has saved more retirement savings than any bank. The decoy wallet. An old wallet from a thrift store, a few $1 bills, an expired card or two, total cost maybe $3. That's a decoy wallet, and it's one of the oldest tricks for coming home from town safe. If the worst ever happens and someone demands your money, you hand over the decoy and you're out $4 instead of your cards, your ID, and your peace of mind. Keep your real cards in a front pocket or an inside coat pocket. You'll likely never use the decoy, but knowing it's there changes how you carry yourself, and confidence itself deters trouble. Shred your mail. Your trash can is a filing cabinet with no lock. Bank statements, Medicare summaries, credit card offers. Identity thieves genuinely collect them, and seniors are their favorite targets because seniors have the cleanest credit. A small crosscut shredder runs about $20 and lasts for years. Scissors are free and work fine for the occasional statement. The rule: anything with your name, account numbers, or Medicare number gets destroyed before it leaves the house. And guard that Medicare card like a credit card. Medical identity theft is real, and it's a nightmare to untangle. 30 seconds of shredding beats months of cleanup. Keep cash boring. Word travels in every neighborhood, and the fastest traveling word of all is that somebody keeps money in the house. The free rule: keep only modest cash at home, keep it in more than one unlikely spot, and mention it to no one. Not the repairman, not the phone, not the porch conversation. Grandpa's generation hid money in coffee cans, and burglars learned that too. Today, the smarter play is simply having less to find. A house with nothing worth bragging about is a house nobody plans a visit to. Quiet is its own kind of safe. Know your neighbors. The cheapest security system ever built is a neighborhood where people know each other's routines. Introduce yourself to the two houses beside you and the one across the street. Trade phone numbers. Wave every day. Neighborhoods where residents actually watch out for each other see meaningfully less crime, because burglars fear a nosy neighbor more than a camera. A camera records the crime. A neighbor interrupts it. One plate of cookies this weekend buys you a security network no company can sell, and someone who notices when your curtains don't open one morning, which matters just as much. The top 10 is next, and it includes the nighttime habit police recommend to every senior they visit. And that security system in your driveway I promised you at the start. If even one of these hacks tonight makes your home safer, that subscribe button is free. And it tells me to keep digging up more of Grandpa's old tricks. Now, the top 10, the bedtime sweep. Grandpa never went to bed without his rounds, and the routine takes 90 seconds. Every outside door locked, sliding tracks blocked, doorstop wedged, porch light or motion bulb on, curtains closed, keys and phone on the nightstand. Same order, every night, so it becomes automatic, because the night you're tired and skip it is exactly the night you don't want to find out. Most burglaries happen when a door was simply left unlocked, not picked, not broken, unlocked. 90 seconds of habit closes the single biggest hole in any home's defense, and it costs exactly nothing. Sleep with your phone in reach. The most important security device you own is the phone, but only if you can reach it. It sleeps on the nightstand, charged every night, not across the room and not in the kitchen. Program your emergency contacts and your local police non-emergency number now, while it's easy. Add your medical information to the phone's emergency feature. Responders are trained to check for it. And one more habit that costs nothing: bring the phone into the bathroom too. Falls are far more common than break-ins, and the phone you can reach is the difference between minutes and hours of waiting for help. The $1 window guard. Here's number 7, the hardware store dollar I promised you. The dowel in the sliding door was the beginning. This is the whole house version, a wooden dowel or cut broomstick laid in every window track, exactly like the sliding door trick, so windows can't be forced from outside. For double-hung windows, a ventilation lock, $2 in hardware, lets the window open a few inches for air, but no further. Every window in the average house can be secured this way for under $10 total. Windows are the second favorite way in. For pocket change, you can retire that option entirely. The air horn on the nightstand. A small air horn costs about $4 at any sporting goods store, and it might be the loudest $4 in America. One press produces a blast that carries through walls, across yards, and into every neighbor's bedroom on the block. Intruders flee from noise. Noise means attention, and attention means witnesses. Keep one on the nightstand and one by the front door. Unlike a whistle, it needs no breath. Unlike a phone, it needs no dialing. Unlike an alarm system, it needs no contract. It just needs a thumb. And it turns one person living alone into the loudest house on the street. The security system in your driveway. And here's number 5, the one that's been parked outside this whole time. Your car key fob has a red panic button and it works from your nightstand. Press it and your car's horn and lights erupt in the driveway, a commotion no intruder wants to stand next to and every neighbor hears. Police have recommended this trick to seniors for years. The fob sleeps next to your phone, and if you ever hear something that shouldn't be there, one press turns your quiet house into the center of attention. You already paid for this alarm system. Tonight, it finally starts working the night shift. Light the house number. When you call for help, help has to find you. And at night, an unlit house number can cost responders precious minutes as they crawl the street reading mailboxes. Solar house number lights cost a few dollars. Even a $2 reflective number sticker on the mailbox does the job. While you're at it, write your full address in large print on a card taped by each phone. That sounds strange, you know your own address, but in a real emergency, with your heart pounding at 3 in the morning, people blank on the simplest things. The card remembers, so you don't have to. Clear the escape paths. Security isn't only about keeping danger out, it's about getting yourself out if you ever need to, in a fire, a gas leak, or an emergency. The free habit. Keep 2 ways out of the house clear at all times. No boxes stacked in the back hallway, no furniture blocking the second door, no window painted shut in the bedroom. Walk both routes once so your feet know them in the dark. And keep a flashlight in the nightstand drawer. The same one that helps you check a strange noise, helps you find the door when the power's out. A clear path is a plan you only have to make once. The morning check-in, a 1-minute phone call every morning, same time, with a friend, a sibling, or that neighbor with your spare key. That's the whole hack, and it's free. If the call doesn't come, they check on you. Simple as that. This old-fashioned buddy system means that no matter what happens, a fall, an illness, anything, someone notices within hours, not days. And there's a security bonus hiding inside it. A house that gets a daily call and a daily visit when the call is missed is a house where someone is always paying attention. For a person living alone, that daily voice is protection and company in the same breath. Trust the gut, skip the guilt. The oldest hack on this list lives between your ears. That uneasy feeling about the stranger at the door, the caller who pushes too hard, the contractor who just happened to be in the neighborhood. That's decades of experience talking, and it's usually right. Grandpa's rule. You never owe a stranger your time, your doorway, or an explanation. Say no. Close the door. Hang up. Don't answer. It costs nothing. Requires no apology. And it's the one security system that's been protecting people since long before locks were invented. You've earned your instincts. Let them do their job. 35 hacks, most of them under $5. All of them proven by the generation that locked up smarter, not more expensively. One more thing. All 35 of these are in Grandpa's 35 Self-Defense Hacks Guidebook. Links in the description.